We
So
ready
you're
to
just
go?
confused.
You guys tell me when to start. Hold on. I need to look something up real quick. I just forgot.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, cool.
Andrew needs a fact.
1 second.
Or he's checking.
Okay. Stormus.
What now?
Stormus. Do you know who Stormus is?
No.
Well, this is the show. We've started.
Oh, this is the show.
Yes.
Okay,
It's
who's
begun.
Stormus? No, I don't know.
Stormus. They're the hacker group that has taken responsibility for the hack on Duvel beers.
Oh.
So what happened was a couple nights ago, 'twas the night before Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. The beer company, they're there chugging along. They make 2.6 million.
Chugging along. I see what you did.
I did
That's
it on
nice.
purpose. I did. They make like 2.6 million bottles of beer every single day.
That's a lot of beer.
It's a lot of beer.
Wait, hackers are coming for beer?
They are. The IT department noticed there was ransomware on the system, and they shut her down. The entire beer making process. They put away the hops.
How
and
computerized is the process for making beer? Probably pretty.
Yeah, it's all connected. It's all interconnected.
Okay.
So they shut everything down, and they found that the group, Stormus, has taken responsibility. I don't know why. They haven't said why. And they're like a political hacker
Money?
group.
Oh, they're not asking for. I mean, they're asking for ransom, aren't they?
No,
Oh.
not yet, because they got halted before they could get in any information.
Got it.
And here, let's just put it this way. You can come after my credit cards. I mean, you're very good at that, hackers. And you can take down the NSA. You can cripple AT&T's entire network, reliable network.
This is not sponsored.
You're coming for our beer? You're coming for that sweet, sweet golden Belgian ale? This is preposterous. And we will not stand for it. Not beer. You can rig the election. Okay.
No, please don't do that.
Just don't touch the beer. It's irresponsible and it's unhumanly. Do you know what Duvel means in English?
No idea.
Neither do I. This is Kim Commando today. I am Andrew Babinski. I'm here with Allie Seligman, the A-team. Kim Commando is in Japan, and she's still working from Japan.
Oh, of course. She's Kim. If
I
you know Kim.
But that's depressing. Unplug. Relax. Put on a kimono. Go out to the balcony.
I'm not sure that Kim relaxes in the way that humans like you and I relax.
Just humans, period.
Like humans, yes.
I disconnect. Like, are you a weekend emailer?
I try not to be.
Okay.
If I must, I look.
You look.
But I only respond if it's like something that needs to be handled.
Here's my classic weekend email move. I open the email app. I see an email from, someone important. Click on it, read it, and then click out and mark as unread.
Of course.
Because
yeah.
then I'll see it again on Monday and it won't get lost, but I'm
wait.
not responding.
If it's something truly important, like are there emergencies in your job ever? Like are there things that like, ooh, if I didn't respond, this is a bad look for me?
Yeah, I mean, there could be like, I work in radio. I host
Wait, you're in radio?
Yes. I co-host a morning show here in Phoenix, Arizona, on 99.9 KZ, everybody, the Beth and Friends show. And there are emergencies.
Sure.
But on the weekend, it's like, you must do this first thing Monday morning. That's the most an emergency is going to go.
But if it was, like, are you categorically opposed to responding to a work email on the weekend? Or would you if it merited?
Well, I'm a salaried employee. So if you're a salary, I believe you are taking on the responsibility of being reachable at all. It doesn't mean midnight they can make you come down and flip some discs, but that you should be reachable because that's the agreement that I made when I signed up for. If you're an hourly employee, shut her down. Do not look at it. Delete the app and then re-download and log in on Monday.
Honestly, just throw away your phone.
I had a buddy who worked at the radio station for years. And one day, the boss comes in and he's like, hey, I sent you an email on Saturday night and you didn't respond. And he's like, I don't work weekends. Fired.
Oh.
Well, laid
he doesn't
off,
work any days.
eliminated the position, but 2 days later, let go. So there's some companies, and this was a long time ago. iHeart's much better now. There's no employees left to fire.
But they crack down on those bots like you wouldn't believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for streaming with us. We stream on X. I'm giving them first billing this
Because
week.
they turned out for us yesterday.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Rumble, Facebook, YouTube. We start at 10:30 on the West Coast, 1:30 on the East Coast, Monday through Friday, every single weekday.
Tell your friends.
Yes. Like, comment, share. It only helps the show so we can keep doing this. I looked at some of the comments yesterday. Everybody's chiming in. It's interesting, though, because, this lives on the internet forever.
It does.
And people are commenting and asking questions 12 hours after the show is aired, which I was like, man, I wish we had that when it was live and in person. So whoever that was, quit your job so that obviously you can be here when we're live and we can interact. And when we start the show, which is right now, with the top 5 things in tech.
Reddit. Everybody's talking about it. Reddit is going public.
Ooh.
Their IPO. It's coming this month. Probably the most anticipated of this year will be all of the year. They should be launching in the $31 to $34 share range, which means a $6.5 billion valuation.
I was going to guess it was worth $600 million.
Oh, of course you were.
I was a bit off.
No. This is a really big deal. Reddit's huge. Social media companies have done this before. Surprise, though, Redditors have big opinions, and they have a lot of opinions on this, whether it's a good idea. And part of this stems because Reddit offered all the most loyal people who post the most, people who are moderators, which all this is free, right? They don't get paid to be moderators.
Right.
People do it for the love of the internet, the love
of the game.
Yeah, exactly. So they made space for 75,000 people, their most engaged, to buy before it goes public.
Get it on
if
the
they want
IPO.
To. Yes, and usually this is reserved for really big investors, but they're saying, no, we want to reward these people. The reaction, they're skeptical, right?
They're skeptical that they're actually going to be offered that?
No, they're skeptical about the whole thing, whether they're going to make any money on this, whether the Reddit stock will actually do well. Reddit, by the way, last year lost $90.8 million.
Still?
Yeah.
They're still losing money to this day?
Yeah. The year before that, they lost $158 million. So that's, good progress. So
That's why I'm not good at business. Because if someone's like, hey, I have this business, you're going to lose $100 million a year. Oh, but the next year I'm going to make money. No. You're going to lose $90 million that year. I would run. I would run away.
run far away. In part of their IPO filing, Reddit said they warned that the stock could experience extreme volatility, which could cause you to lose all or part of your investment, in part because of the popularity of the Reddit Wall Street Bets. So
okay.
Wall Street Bets is like basically people who choose a stock and like, hey, let's go for this. And they can really drive the price of a stock because it's such a big group of people.
But it's fake manipulation.
What do you think the stock market is, homie?
Real, true
Real manipulation.
value of companies.
Sure. So if Wall Street Bets decides we don't like this, that could be bad for Reddit. So we'll see what happens.
Have you ever purchased a stock the day that it was listed? Ever?
No.
I have.
You have? What?
Yes, Coinbase.
How'd that go for you?
Lost it all.
Great. Good story.
Like 85% within the first month.
Oof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's rough.
because I was like, "Oh, this is the future. The pandemic, Bitcoin,
A
everything.
stimmy check.
Give me this. Take this big chunk of money. Oh, I own Coinbase. Now I own a little bit less value of coin. Now I'm broke." That was pretty much my story of buying a stock in the day it was launched.
That's a real roller coaster. The best thing I learned on Reddit recently, I didn't know this somehow. Apparently it's common knowledge, but you can bring, you know how if I go through security at the airport with a water bottle, if there's water in it, no ma'am, you have to throw that away, dump it out. You can bring ice. Anything that's frozen solid, no kidding. This is on the TSA website. I kid you not.
I'm so lost on how this is connected to what we were talking. Oh, you saw it on Reddit.
Yeah.
Got you. Smooth
Yeah,
transition.
Reddit, it's for tips. That was too good of a transition for you, apparently.
Now, what if I'm in line with my ice and I'm like into the bottle before it goes through security?
If it melts, no.
You're done.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah, you got to get that liquid out of there.
All right. Good tip.
Thanks. Yeah. Update your iPhone.
Okay.
Is number 2 on our list. Stolen device protection just beep, beep, boop, boop, just got better. This came out with, I think, 17.3, but a new update. It essentially stops anybody who knows your password or your PIN from being able to reset your phone entirely. So that's kind of the danger, right? I get your phone. If I have your PIN number, cool. I can just open up your iTunes, iCloud, and change everything.
Right.
Take over your phone, take over all your accounts, all your money's linked to it. Not anymore. Now it requires biometric data, so I have to have the face scan or the fingerprint.
Which should have been in place since the second they implemented a face scan.
Well, 17.4, they got there in the end. There's also something called security delay. So if somebody has your phone, presumably someone else, right? And they're trying to change things like your settings, your passcode, find my iPhone, all the stuff that people will change if they've stolen your phone. They have an hour window now before those changes go into place. So if you notice, oh, my phone's gone, you can go in and erase everything online.
What if
before someone
I'm
else
changing
can.
the settings?
You have to wait an hour, friend.
You really do?
Yeah.
What a weird thing to do.
Yeah. You have a couple options.
Even
on
my
this.
ringtones?
Even your no, just the really high stuff. You can set this. This is actually pretty cool. If your phone is away from a familiar location, so if it's outside of your house, your work, whatever it is, or you can have it on all the time. So I guess no, it wouldn't kick in. Like you could change your settings at home if you marked your phone to say it is safe here for me to change things.
Local bar, places I go all the time.
Sure, yeah. Be careful. Drive safe. So update your phone.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Number 3. You've probably seen this everywhere. Elon Musk is suing OpenAI. Everybody's freaking out. And they said, Elon, we have the receipts. So today they published a bunch of emails that
here.
Elon Musk sent.
I have the timeline as I see it. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
Give it to me.
Elon Musk invests money into OpenAI.
Yes.
And then he sues them because they went against what they originally stood for when he invested.
Which was?
Be good, do good, don't be evil.
This is for the public good. This is
Right.
not a money-making venture.
And how dare you try and make a profit?
How dare you?
But then in between those 2 points, he's like, hey, what if we try and make a bunch of profits and merge with Tesla? And also, I want full control of the company.
Yeah, those are the emails that just came out. So yes, he sued basically saying, like you said, they went against the values. This was not supposed to be a money-making operation.
Again, I know nothing about business. He's investing $45 million in a company that he hopes never makes a dollar. I would run.
I would also run. Yeah, he essentially told them, even raising hundreds of millions won't be enough. This needs billions per year immediately or forget it.
Do you know anyone who has billions? Wait, I do. Me.
He said Tesla could be the cash cow for OpenAI.
How? Oh, just feeding it, keeping it funded?
Like this is the hey, let's merge it together. And
So
we can
how
do
are they
this.
going to make money with OpenAI other than selling the back end to companies who want to use it as their own? Are they going to put ads on it? Or are you going to be like, hey, can you give me a recipe or change this recipe and turn it into a blog post? And they're like, sure. But first, this moment from Nissan.
Maybe. I mean, eventually that happens to everything, but
Correct.
they do sell the subscription, right? So I think that with the business stuff should hopefully stave off ads for hopefully forever, but everything always gets ads.
It's
Right?
true. I have one on my back.
The tattoo?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know. I thought that was just because you liked it.
Wendy's.
It's a Baconator? Is that a Wendy's
No,
product?
it's just the Wendy logo.
Okay, good. Number 4 on my list. Ladies are freaking out on the internet
Yes.
about the Apple Journal
My
app.
lady freaked out yesterday.
No kidding. Okay, so this is like a really big Android day or Apple day for me, and like I'm an Android person, so
How dare you?
weird. Yeah,
Well, these are all negative stories. You're trying to bring the company down.
yeah, that's true. Apple Journal, it's kind of like a digital diary. It's going viral. Here is a Facebook post. It lets anyone near you, all caps, know your full name and exactly where you're geolocated. This is messed up big time.
I got sent a TikTok video of ladies, listen up. And then it went to say, if you use Apple Journal, then every single predator in the world knows exactly where you are.
Yeah. Turns out it's not true.
It's not?
No.
TikTok was wrong?
TikTok was wrong. Facebook was wrong. The internet's wrong. The 2 things that are kind of driving this, there are 2 things in there called journal suggestions and discoverable by others. So this uses Bluetooth. Essentially, if I am sitting next to you and we are contacts in our phones, like our phones know that we know each other.
Which they don't. She won't give me her number.
No, absolutely not. But theoretically, right, my phone would recognize that I'm by Andrew, and maybe it would give me an entry in my diary about I spent time with Andrew. Okay, great. That's only viewable to me. You can't interact with that. No one else can interact with that. You're not seeing that I get that information.
Right.
So it's just kind of people freaking out because they don't know how this works.
Well, they probably read one social media post and they're like, I need something to put up on my TikTok, so I'm going to scream and yell about it as well.
And we know that the things that get attention, that go viral, are things that make you feel a big emotion, right?
Sure.
And like, what better than like, hey, someone could stalk you based on this app? Yes. Fear, sex,
And I
greed.
Yes. And my girlfriend sent me and she's like, this is messed up. I'm deleting this app, blah, 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 blah. It took me a 2-second Google search to find out that what she was saying wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
And I just sent her the screenshots and you're fine. If you want to disable it, you can go ahead and disable it this way. And she's like,
Yeah.
thank God.
Well,
and then she was mad at them for going
For lying.
crazy
Yeah.
and being all afraid.
We'll put this in a newsletter. We can put the steps in there for people
cool.
if they want to. Yeah, you can turn off all this stuff if you want to, even though it doesn't actually put your privacy in danger. And finally, this one I'm excited about, maybe. Because,
What a great sales pitch.
yeah,
This is an amazing car, kind of.
sorta. Google might finally be fixing all the crappy search results. So, you know, when you search for something, you end up on one of those sites, you scroll and you scroll and you scroll, and it's clear they got all the SEO terms. They're just trying to get you to the end of that page where you've looked at 50,000 ads to find that whatever you were looking for doesn't exist. There is no information about it. One of the great examples of this, if you search Taylor Swift daughter, there's a post, huge post, right? All through about Taylor Swift and her facts and blah, blah, blah. At the end, Taylor Swift does not have a daughter.
They're not dumb.
No, but this, Google doesn't like it. They recognize that this is something that has happened for a long time, right? This is what people do. They game the system to get people to their site, look at all the ads. They are actually taking action against this now.
How?
Well, they just changed a bunch of the rules. There's something called manual action.
Rule number 1, don't do this anymore, guys.
Yeah. You know, so this is where like a real live human person at Google goes to a website and says, this is against our spam policy. So it's not something that's flagged necessarily by a computer, which it's not going to because these people know how to get around all
Right.
that stuff. So a human goes and says, this doesn't feel right. It's more of a, a feeling, the intention of the rules.
So they can ban those sites solely based on we think you're trying to trick
Yes.
people that use Google?
Yes, exactly.
good.
And they are actually starting to take stuff down. A lot of SEO companies and site owners are saying, oh, look, my site is no longer in Google search. Even if you put in, there's something called a site command. So you could type site:commando.com and you're only going to get results for commando. People are even doing that to search for the actual site. Still not coming up. So they're blocking this stuff.
Well, I mean, that's all they're doing is making their search engine better.
Right.
And if Taylor Swift doesn't have a daughter, it should be the first thing that pops up. And when you do Google, it has the information there. You don't have to click anything.
Yeah.
That should be the first thing that's up at the top.
Yeah.
Because that's the best product Google can be.
Exactly.
It's the most user friendly. They're finally doing something for us.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I know.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Google,
I'm
for
excited.
once.
And I always thought Taylor Swift had a daughter. Tiffany Swift.
T-Swift.
T Swift and T Swift.
Oh, teeny Swift.
On the other side, AI and the election, they're gonna dance for the rest of the year. Wow, that was long for a segment.
Wow.
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 We ready? Welcome back to Kim Commando. Today, the A-Team filling in. Kim Commando's still in Japan. I'm Andrew Babinski. Allie Seligman is with us, and we're filling in for the rest of the week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're streaming right now on YouTube or Facebook, go ahead and drop a comment. Maddie's upstairs collecting all the best comments. We're going to read them at the end of the show.
Did you already forget about X?
No, I was actually going to get to the newsletter. So I was just doing like a quick drop
Okay,
a
I got
comment
it.
thing.
Okay.
And then I was going to do something but Allie, we just don't do the podcast. We also have the newsletter.
An amazing newsletter. If you go to getkim.com, you can sign up for the current. If you like this podcast, you'll like it. It's 5-ish minutes read. You get it right in your inbox first thing in the morning. News of the day. Tips, tricks, and we get to include stuff that is a little bit hard on the podcast, like steps to do things.
Right, step by step.
If I'm just sitting here telling you, go to settings and then privacy, that's so boring.
Double
But
click.
Come,
Where do you get it?
getkim.com.
Awesome. So Super Tuesday was this week.
Yep,
Donald Trump and Joe Biden both bidding for re-election.
indeed.
And the primaries were happening. Well, prior to that, day of Super Tuesday and the day before, there were a bunch of people on social media circulating some photos. I'm going to show you them here. This first one is former President Trump with a group of African-American, black, male and female Americans just having a good time,
chilling.
posing for a great picture.
They look really happy.
The second one, he's sitting on a stoop, a nice stoop sit with a bunch of young black men. And turns out these are not real photos.
Oh, you don't say?
No, these are AI-generated photos that were put on the internet to make people believe that President Trump has a bigger support from the black community in America, and therefore, if you're a black voter, you should absolutely vote for him on Super Tuesday.
Okay, hold on. I have to do the Kim Commando disclaimer. We don't talk about politics on this show. This is the tech of it, right? Because, AI-generated photos. So who made these? Do we know?
Bunch of people.
Okay.
Bunch of people. One, though, a conservative talk show host, admitted that he had an AI-generated photo. He even put it in his post. This is not a real photo, but this is what it would look like if the President of the United States, former President of the United States, hung out with black Americans.
This is what it would look. Cool, thanks. That's
Well,
great.
so he's not deceiving anyone.
Well, but isn't he? Because aren't people going to share this and that caption's going to drop off? People are going to take, all right, go ahead.
But he also got the attention of, people that want to talk to him about AI and AI in the election. And his quote was very interesting.
Okay.
He said, if you're the type of voter who's going to go on social media, look at one photo and have that affect how you're going to vote, you're the problem, not AI and those using AI to create these images.
I kind of agree with that.
Do you?
I think to an extent, there are photos, single photos, which I won't even try to come up with what they could be. There are single photos that I think could sway how you would vote on something. In general, is that a good practice? Should you be taking your, decisions in this way from a picture that you see on X? No.
But if you let's say you were a person that was on the fence, that maybe sometimes you vote with one party and another time you vote with the other, and then you're just throwing, you're like, wow, President Trump is reaching out to my community, the black community in America. That's so cool.
Absolutely, yes.
And then that creates a thought in your process.
Even if it just opens up your mind to something else, right?
But why I disagree with him is because how many billions of dollars are spent on advertising during an election?
Okay, yeah.
Billions.
You're right.
Because imagery, videos, that messaging works.
It does.
It sways people. So to say the voter that's going to be influenced by a fake photo is the problem is absolutely. This guy's a conservative talk show host. He will go on the air and he will talk about his people, his tribe, his side, and how it's right. He is trying to use just spoken word to convince people to vote a certain way. Now, some conservative talk show hosts or liberal talk show hosts, they're just acting. They're just characters. They're playing a role. They're performers. I understand that. I don't know this guy in particular.
Sure.
But he's doing the same thing with his radio show.
Yeah.
And to say that you look at a photo and if it sways you either way, you're the problem, then American politics is the problem.
All right, I've come around. I agree with you.
Wow. That was so fast.
He's done it. Wow. Yeah, yes, images are very powerful.
Right.
And I think that these are getting more, like, those are pretty good images.
Oh, well, it's funny when I was, back in the room, that one, the control room. And
when I was in the room.
We were making sure the photos were working. No one believes that they were fake photos. They're like, those are AI?
I didn't look at the hands. I couldn't see them. Are there like funky hands on those?
Let's see. We can
That's
bring them
usually
back up.
one of the signs. Oh, the hands are pretty hidden.
Oh, the hands are now the hand on the shoulder right there.
Yeah.
That's President Trump, former President Trump's hand.
Yeah.
It looks pretty normal. His other
there's
hand,
nothing crazy.
his hand on the other side, his hands are in full focus there, but they're all crossed. I mean, AI knows
It's
they have
clever.
a problem with hands, so
Yeah.
they try and conceal them.
Also, if you're thinking like, what the heck are these two talking about with hands? AI is notoriously bad for making hands that look human and lifelike, like really long fingers, extra fingers.
Yeah, it's really bad. Now, most of these AI sites have agreed that they are going to put some sort of logo or warning, or I've seen some that just say fake photo in the bottom, which is
I kind of like that.
it's great
Yeah.
in big, bold red letters. But literally, you just go to Photoshop and you can take it off in seconds. with AI. You can use AI to undo the problem AI is causing you. But I disagree with him. I think that a majority of American voters turn to media to help decide. I mean, long past are we the days where people are going to go and research and stump for their person.
Yeah.
You whatever you consume on a daily basis, even if it's just one simple photo, is going to influence you. And these photos are meant to deceive.
Of course. And it's interesting too, because you might not even be thinking consciously, oh, I saw that picture
Right.
and now I like him better. And whatever the picture is,
No.
whoever the person is, whatever
You may
it
just
is.
zoom by it, but you will consume
You have
it
that little.
somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I also was thinking about, well, what do we do about it?
Ugh.
Now, do we have penalties? If you post an image that is fake and it is connected to any sort of election, should you be subject to a fine?
I mean,
Even if you didn't create it, even if you just stole it off someone else's Twitter or Facebook or whatever and reposted it.
gosh, they'd have to like find the whole planet. How would you enforce it? It seems impossible.
But we have to do something about
Yeah.
it. We have to take some sort of step.
I would think that the only logical thing would be to put it on the social media companies themselves. Just kidding.
That was a good
Oh,
one.
that's
They're
so
completely
funny.
innocent, and they don't have the resources to handle this.
Oh, no.
It's too hard.
That's so hard.
Thank you. Welcome back to Kim Commando. Today, Andrew Babinski, Allie Seligman, and we are filling in for Kim. One, two, maybe two more shows that she's going to be in Japan.
I think so.
She's still working the entire time she's over there, and she's chomping at the bit to get back and be here for the podcast and for her huge radio show. What's the count? 480 stations?
I think we're all told with everything. I think we're like 510.
510.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
So many radio stations.
If you know Kim Commando, she does a weekend radio show, one of the biggest weekend radio shows in the country. And then Monday through Friday, we do the Kim Commando Today podcast. Just a quick glimpse of the daily tech news. We stream live on Facebook and YouTube, Rumble, X. But we also then take the audio from this show and we turn it into a podcast.
A podcast.
A podcast.
Yeah.
Which you can find wherever you download your podcast. If you've ever listened to a podcast, go back to that place where you got it, and the Kim Commando Today show will be there. What do you have for us, Allie?
I saw this headline.
That's all? We're just going to read a headline?
Yeah.
Okay.
LAPD warns homeowners about a simple trick burglars are using to disable home security systems.
Okay.
First I'm hearing about this. Just kidding. It's Wi-Fi jammers. And
Yeah.
we talked about this.
We did, extensively.
A week ago? More than that?
Well, because Kim Commando was a victim of this.
Truly, yes. So, but it is spreading. LAPD said that they've had a few neighborhoods hit. So they went through and have some suggestions. By the way, I've been seeing Kim's article on this all over the internet.
Absolutely.
It was on the front page of Reddit Technology. which
The
is pretty cool.
video is literally breathtaking to see the SWAT team.
Well, yeah, will you describe it for people who don't know what we're talking about?
So the way that Kim told the story was her and Barry were sitting there and they were having chicken and broccoli. Obviously, she's just dropping the healthy food she's eating. And Barry, I think, was eating M&Ms. But they were sitting there at dinner and all of a sudden they hear helicopters going and they see police lights. Kim walks out to her patio and the police scream at her to go back into the house. She didn't listen. She stood there and continued to watch. And that's when they entered her property. What was it? 13, 14 guys,
Yeah.
SWAT officers, fully armed. They got dogs and they're looking for people on her property because this neighborhood was in the middle of being hit by this exact problem that you just mentioned.
Yes. So people are coming in. They are putting down tech that jams the Wi-Fi, which means people's security systems, their cell phones, everything, right? So they can't connect.
She talked to her neighbors afterwards, and two of them, one was out of town. They were up north in Flagstaff, and the other was just down the road at dinner. They both got warnings from their security cameras that they were offline. Obviously, they just assume, internet's down. Cox is not working.
Yeah.
Cox is not working.
Cox is number one.
And they just carried upon their day. And of course they would. I would as well.
I would too. I would just think, the internet went down, right?
Right.
So I guess that's step number one. If you have a Wi-Fi security system and you get that alert, maybe take it seriously. If
Sure.
you have a neighbor that's home, say like, hey, can you look at my house?
Or is your Wi-Fi down?
Sure.
Are you able to stream?
There you go. Yeah.
Now, the reason why Kim had all this amazing video was because her cameras are all hardwired.
Yes.
None of them are on a Wi-Fi system.
Yes. And surprise, surprise, that was the first piece of advice. Do you think that LAPD saw Kim's article about this when they were looking for steps to take?
Absolutely, they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Shift from wireless to wired. Yes, that is one way.
Which sounds like a hassle. I mean, it really
Yes.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, I know where my cameras are placed
Yeah.
in my house. They're obviously on satellite, so you can't shut them down by using a Wi-Fi jammer.
Obviously.
I bought my own satellite straight from Elon Musk.
Oh, sure.
And it just supports my 3 cameras.
It's big. Put electronic trackers in your valuables. This is a good smart tip, right? If you have something really valuable, if you are an iPhone person, get an AirTag, stick it on there.
Now, how long will a battery last? Let's say I have a bag of gold, and
Sure.
and I put an AirTag in there.
Theoretically, my
Right.
bag of gold.
It's a velvet bag
Yeah.
of gold, and I put an AirTag in there. How long is that battery going to last if I never check it? If it just sits there?
I'm pretty sure it's at least a year.
Okay, that's a good time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So you're gonna have to put on your calendar, change gold bag batteries
Yes.
to make sure that you still have that tracker active a year later.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll put that on the checklist. This one I thought was actually really cool. Protect your circuit breakers. So they're saying put a padlock on your electrical circuit boxes in case anybody's trying to turn off your power to mess with your alarm system that way.
That's smart.
Okay. Also, what
I
a
have a
weird
paper
world.
clip.
That might work if you twist it enough times.
But it's also going to be a deterrent because someone's going to have to
Yes.
stand there and they're going to have to unclip the paper clip.
Absolutely. And deterrent is kind of the next. Do you really have a paperclip?
Yeah.
Amazing. And deterrent is actually kind of the next thing, right? This is why security signs work, even if you don't have a security system. This is why having a floodlight, things that make it seem like, ooh, why would I go for that house when this house is silent and looks open?
Right. I definitely want them to rob my neighbors.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm pushing them over. I have a sign that says bag of gold this way. And it's just pointed right
No
at my
air
neighbor's
tag.
side. No.
No air tags. Make it harder to break in. Sure. Okay. Thank you, LAPD.
Police.
I love that. Keep your travel plans to yourself, which we talk about this all the time. If you are posting on social media, on my way to Europe for 2 weeks.
Right.
That's translated to go rob my house. You have 2 weeks.
Or if you have a podcast and the people are filling in continuously say over and over and over again that you're in Japan.
There are so many people at Kim Commando's house, and she has wired cameras, etc. But one of the points they made, even your rideshare driver, like if you're getting a ride to the airport,
Well,
I've
they
never
know.
thought about that.
They absolutely
They
know.
do know. So am I going to pretend like I'm just going to go pick somebody up? I'm going for a snack. Like what am
Yeah,
I
what
doing?
excuse could you use going to? You could say you work at the airport now because that's still a long shift. That's
Well, they
still going to be
don't know.
time away.
Oh, right. Maybe I mean, at Sky Harbor, there's like pretty good restaurants and
Yeah, Matt's
and
Big
coffee.
Breakfast. Just say you're going to eat at Matt's Big Breakfast at the airport.
I just love their pancakes.
Yeah, they're
it's
the
worth
best
it.
pancakes.
It's the best location.
And I'm getting it to go. I will be home momentarily.
Okay, one more. Keep an eye out for temporary or dealer license plates. Ooh.
Oh.
I don't know about you. Are you just like sitting around at home watching for dealer plates?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
But-
But I guess every neighborhood has that person, right?
But you also know the cars that are suspicious
That's
without
true.
even looking at the plates. The slow rollers that are staring at you because my neighbors don't give a crap about me and they're zooming by my house.
Oh.
But Kim said in her neighbor, it was a minivan. It was a
Yeah.
rented minivan
Yep.
that was full of the thieves that were trying to break in.
packed with thieves.
And so that is something you can look at because you know the suspicious cars, or even if they're not suspicious, you know the cars that aren't normally in your neighborhood. When that big truck rolls by my house, I know that that's the jerk who lives 4 houses down. You are able to spot the suspicious
Yeah,
vehicles.
no, that's absolutely true.
And I would know if you're in my neighborhood immediately. You don't belong there, Allie.
Get out.
Get away from my velvet bag of gold.
Is it because I drive a Waymo?
Yay! Oh,
Oh, yeah.
no problem.
Come on.
That was Allie's fault.
Yes. Any hosting difficulties are my fault. Thank you.
I'm going to do the story first, and then we can end with the comments
Beautiful.
because it's real quick.
Okay.
And we're already at 33.
Okay.
Welcome back to Kim Commando today. I'm Andrew Babinski. This is Allie Seligman. Normally, I would be sitting in this chair, but across from me would be Kim Commando. But she is on vacation. Just a couple more shows. We promise. I saw the comments maybe 2 days ago. Yawners. Yawners. I understand. You love Kim. We all love Kim.
We all love Kim.
She will be back shortly. I had to actually look that up. I was like, is that a tech term or is he actually sitting there bored and yawning during the show?
Is that what it meant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's okay. He loves Kim. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
We all do.
Yeah. We're doing our best.
But we appreciate the comment. Helps the algorithm, even if it's a negative strike at my soul.
Sure.
We still appreciate it. If you could, comment, like, share the podcast. It helps us keep us on the air and going because we love doing this every single day. So I saw this cool thing yesterday. It's AI for teachers.
Oh.
And I was reading the article, and when I first read it, I was like, wait a minute. How come teachers just get to pass the buck off to AI to grade all their papers? Then I looked at the software, and it is amazing.
No kidding.
So let's say you give an assignment. What was the example they used in the assignment? Oh, explain why your state is important to the United States of America.
Okay.
And then the teacher can put in all these parameters that they need the essay to meet. And then the AI reads the essay, finds where all the parameters were met, comes up with a comment, either negative or positive, to the student. So if the student's like, our state is great because it's blue. Well, the comment would say, obviously, little Jimmy, our state is not blue, and you need to go back to third grade. The teachers can adjust these comments, personalize them. They can mass send them or send them one at a time. And then it allows them to sit on the little column over there and change the grade. AI will come up with a grade themselves. They'll say they think this meets 98% of the requirements of the essay, so this is an A. But the teacher can bump it up to 100 or bring it down. I think it's so cool. The technology is so smart.
Yeah, it is. I think that this is awesome, in particular because teachers spend so much time grading.
Right.
And it's not, I think that people will think, oh, the kids aren't going to learn. They're not going to get as good of, but I mean, the teacher still reviews everything.
Right.
Still has to approve all the comments. It's really a time saver the way that any other person that uses AI work is using it as a time saver.
But I thought the same thing, like the teacher's not going to learn the student the same way. But all the AI is doing is pointing out the exact points that the teacher is looking for.
Yeah.
And the teacher doesn't have to read the entire essay to find those.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool. Now, is it simple for, grading yes or no, A, B, or C
sure.
questions? That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But this, I think it's called Writable, and it's really impressive. I think every school, every district in the entire country should give teachers access to this. It is amazing.
Yeah, a huge time saver. I was talking to a friend last night who
You have
is
friends?
a couple.
Wow, you're such a gloater.
Well, and wait for this. He's a college professor.
Ooh, is he tenured?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm even more impressed.
Yeah.
I've never been tenured at anything.
So I'm not going to say where he works because I don't know if this is like public knowledge, but he said that they are working on essentially, instead of just saying students don't use AI, they know that they're going to.
Right.
So they're working on best practices for the students, like guidance of how to use it in school.
That's another thing this AI can do. It can identify plagiarism, and it can say this was in another essay that some kid posted on the internet, and this kid's cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever cheated?
Through
all of high school, did you cheat?
I don't think I'm a real, I get nervous. Every time I see a police officer, I'm like, oh, what did I do? I'm going to get pulled over.
So you look
I didn't do anything.
suspicious.
I guess. No, I feel guilty.
So you're telling me in all 4 years of high school, not one time did
I'm
you
sure
cheat?
I did, but I don't remember. And I don't think I would cheat on a big test because I think I would be too afraid to get caught.
You're a good girl. I didn't mean it that way. You're a good student.
No, I think I was just too anxious to.
I remember once I had a friend group and we were supposed to do a book report. And I did mine. I completed mine on the poems from Edgar Allan Poe.
Great.
And my 3 other friends didn't. And so I just wrote all of their papers. They all got B's and C's. I got a D because he knew I wrote them all. Only D I ever got.
Man. fine.
But I would cheat every chance I could get.
I was more the kid who like, hey, Allie, can I look at yours?
Did you let, or were you
Yeah,
were you
usually.
smart girl who covered?
No, I didn't really cover.
All right.
I didn't care. If they cheated off me, whatever.
But this is writable. It's amazing AI tech. This is a positive use of technology. We're
I
not
agree.
trying to sway votes or win over elections. This is so cool.
There's something similar for doctors too that they're using that kind of it can read a message from someone, and if they need it, it essentially generates a response that the doctor then goes in and can change, look at, make sure it agrees with it. And for silly stuff, administrative stuff.
Sure.
Like, hey, I need another prescription.
Right.
Hey, I need, it's not like,
important
can you
stuff.
diagnose
Right.
me? Yeah.
AI is not telling people that they have cancer.
I mean, it is, but don't believe it. Yeah.
Do we have any comments?
Of course, we have comments. Angela has a crypto question. Which wallet would you use if you were going to buy Bitcoin to avoid being hacked? I would say do not self-host anything. So let's not get too deep in the weeds, but you want to use one of the big services to do it, right? You can use Coinbase. You can use something like that. One of the ones I use on my phone is crypto.com. You can have a debit card attached to it.
But a big coin like that you can buy anywhere.
Yes, Bitcoin you can buy anywhere. And I would definitely use one of the big services where they host it for you.
I use Coinbase. I have no issues.
Same.
Very, very, very happy.
Yes, agreed. You're thrilled.
Thrilled. I mean,
Thrilled with this Coinbase.
we're not going to get the free coins that you get that are
No.
just dropped into your cool wallets.
No, but I also run the risk of I manage everything. And if I mess it up, then I'm just.
Good point. A beginner always needs to start with one of the big boys.
Yes, exactly. Our friend from Twitch, 7H3D4. So how do we fight against the Wi-Fi jammers? I think we kind of got to that, didn't we?
Yeah, main thing is you got to hardwire it.
Yeah.
You just got to hardwire the cameras
Yeah.
and hardwire the system. Every system's going to have a base.
Yes.
And make sure that the jammer can't be jammed because it's hardwired.
Yeah. Over on commander.com too, we have a lot of suggestions for these, links to things that help.
And if you haven't seen it, go read Kim's article
Yeah,
and
it's great.
watch the video. It is really cool.
Yeah, it is.
Well, cool in the wow, this is crazy way.
Wow, I can't believe this is happening at Kim's Houseway. Thank you, Mary Jones. Thank you for keeping us all informed. Could you comment on what parents need to know about Wiz and Fliff? Are these apps preying on kids? I've never heard of these apps before.
Neither have I. And I have children.
WIZZFLIFF. Let's answer that tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to make a note of it right
Okay.
now.
Wiz and Fliff. Mary, tune in tomorrow.
I'm going to text it to you, Allie.
Okay, great. Wait, I thought you didn't have my number.
Okay, I'll text it to Maddie, and then Maddie can. They sound made up. Wiz and Fliff, or that could be a morning show, like in Nashville. Hey, everybody, it's Wiz and Fliff in the mornings. Hey, waka waka.
They're stuffed. They are Muppets. Okay, and then one more from Special K. Love the show. The A-team is doing a great job in Kim's absence. You two have a great back and forth. Hope Kim is having a great time in Japan, and tell her thank you for visiting Japan. That's so nice.
Send her messages to at least take the weekend off and enjoy herself.
Enjoy your trip, Kim.
Treat yourself, Kim.
Okay, I lied. Hold on, one more. Edward, what's to stop someone from using a 3D pic of your face to gain access in a face scan? What is to stop them? The tech isn't quite there yet. I'm sure it will get there, and hopefully biometrics will get better by then.
Biometric meaning that it will be able to determine human versus non-human.
Yes, exactly. Although I think you can still fool some phones with a picture, which is
Can you really?
troubling.
I've
Yeah,
never tried it.
I haven't either.
I gotta try that one. I think I have a picture of myself. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, 17 minutes. That's a long open. That's the longest open we've had.
Yeah, that was too long.